Hello CIS-25. This video is on lab 1-2, which we've done in class, but for those of you who couldn't attend or attend the Zoom, I'm recording the second video to show you how you can complete the lab. And as you go through the notes, you would notice that at the end it focuses on mobile devices. So as a support technician, you will likely come across tablets, smartphones, along with other mobile devices like wearable devices, as many companies provide their employees with the mobile device for their operation, along with bring your own device to work. So we want to be able to know how to work with these components. So I encourage you, if you have Android smartphone or tablets, you want to take a look at the configurations and settings so you can understand how to troubleshoot. If you also have iOS like your iPads, that is also helpful to really examine. Some of the simple tasks that you want to look at would be just to basic configuration, for wireless connection, for troubleshooting, connectivity, system apps, and so on. So if you take a look at the notes and also in your book, it talks about that. So for the first question asks you what is another type of mobile device that is not a laptop, right? Then that would be your tablet, your smartphone, your smartwatch, your Fitbit. So you can have wearable device, or you can have actual smaller portable systems like a tablet, a smartphone. Then for number 2, it asks you to identify the wearable mobile devices. So we would have the smartwatch, you would have fitness band, and these are connected to the internet, right? And we would have earphones, VR. So the things that we want to consider for the mobile device would be security. That's important. Connection, right? Also performance, ease of use, reliability, and cost. And most standard user, you would see that they would purchase the mobile device based on these areas. In exercise 3, we are going to look at different types of cable, and you would find this picture also in your assignment. And so for the first one on the left here in green, this is an older cable. This is a 30-pin sync power cable for iOS. So this cable, you can use it to charge something older like the iPod or some of the older Apple systems. It has 30 pin within the enclosed metal connector here. This is used for iOS. Number 2 is your lightning cable. This is common for Apple portable devices. This is used for power and data. So if you want to connect a system, an Apple system like a phone or one of the iPods, then you can use that to transfer. I think this came out about iPhone 2 and they continue to use it. So then for number 3, this is a 5-pin mini USB power, and this is used for power and sync data. And you can tell the difference between this one and this one is that there's a groove on the side right here. It's a little bit thicker than this, and it has a notch. So that is a mini USB, whereas the one next to it is flatter and it's more rounded edge. That will be your micro. And number 4 is also known as USB on the go. All of these are using for power. That means you can use to charge the device and also transfer data to and from the device. So that the main USB, the regular USB, is often used for Android system or Windows type of systems. Number 5 is going to be your USB Type-C, and USB Type-C is the most latest one. It would be used for power and data. Some of the cable you can actually use it for video. Not all USB-C is capable of video. So when you purchase the cable, you gotta read the description of that cable and making sure that you purchased it for the intended purpose. For question 4, it asks you to identify the type of wireless connection for the mobile devices. We would use near field communication, and this also is available on your smartphones. You often see this with some of the point of sale system as well. When they say to tap your card to pay, that is using NFC. It is line to sight and it is close proximity only. Near field communication doesn't work with far distance. So with that, we have to use other standards, other technology. Then you have Bluetooth. Bluetooth is used to also connect devices together wirelessly. And Bluetooth is, the distance for Bluetooth is a lot less than what you would see with 802.11 or wireless. We can also use infrared. This is also known as IR. And you see this in stores, sometime at facility like library. Infrared is used with scanner, hand scanner. If you go and do the self-checkout at the store, you would see infrared being used when you scan products to pay. And in the store, they would use a lot of infrared reader to track inventory, where that actual product is located on shelves. So when you purchase things online and go pick it up at the store, you notice that on the website it will tell you how many items are on that shelf for that particular product. So what they do is they would use the tags for each of the item that is infrared, and they would use the infrared reader to be able to track, and that's for loss prevention and also inventory maintenance. 802.11, there are different standards, and we'll get into the wireless, the Wi-Fi down the line. So Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. This is used to connect systems to the network. It's used to connect system to systems. And so 802.11 is for wireless. Then we also use cellular network to connect. You connect to the cell tower, and the cell tower can connect thousands of clients. So cellular is another way that we can wirelessly connect the mobile devices. For number 5, it asks you, when you're purchasing the battery charger for the mobile devices, what should you consider? You want to make sure that the charger is compatible with that battery, and you want to look at the specification of that charger. It would say the mega ohm or the amperage that would be output to charge the battery. If it's under, it's not going to work. And you don't want excessive either. That can maybe cause hazardous issues. So we want to take a look at the amperage, and along with whether it's able to use USB for charging connection. For question 6, how do you obtain your media access controller, your MAC address? on your Windows mobile device. If you're using Windows, you can use command line, or you can go into the setting. And the way that we would call up command prompt, we would use CMD, and then we would input ipconfig/all to be able to give us the physical address of that system. Then for the next one, and I also put a note here, if you're using like Linux or Android, if you can't go through the menu to be able to see the physical address, if it's a Linux system, you can use command line, which is the terminal, and you would use ifconfig to look for inet address, or you can, that will be for the IP address, but it also gives you more details as far as the system address. And if you're looking for IP address, that will just be IP address as a command. For question 7, it asks you to obtain the physical address of the iOS device, such as MacBook Air. You would go to the settings menu, and then you would click on Wi-Fi, and as you tap on that, you would see the Wi-Fi address, and that would indicate the physical address of that device. It also would include some IP address as well, so the physical address is usually in hexadecimal. For question 8, when setting up your email access to the mobile devices, what is the difference between POP3 and IMAP configuration? POP3 is for webmail such as Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook.com. Then your IMAP is used to configure email server settings. So that's there are different protocols for different services, and we'll touch on protocols and services when we get to the network chapter. For number 9, we want to identify 3 types of data synchronization for mobile devices. And so in a mobile device, we can synchronize the contact, which has phone number, email addresses, contacts for our friends and family, right? The list of contact on your phone, your smartphone, or your tablet. We want to sync email. You can sync across the devices, so that way it would, have the same status. You can also sync apps. You can also sync music, video, some of the media-based type of files. Then for question 10, it asks you to identify the 3 types of data synchronization method. We can use the cloud to sync, and like for Android, we would sync with our Google Drive. Storage, if you're using Microsoft Surface, you can use OneDrive, and if you're using iOS, you can sync with iCloud. Then you can also sync with vehicle. You can sync with other devices like a tablet with a smartphone, with the Surface, or Galaxy for the Android, iPads with your smartphone, your iPhone, and your laptop. You can also sync with your regular desktop system or your workstation. That will be a computer with another computer. So basically, this is going to fall under multiple devices you can sync. And I suggest backing up data or syncing your data to the cloud frequently. So in the case if you lost that device, or if that device is damaged, you're able to still have the contact, the email, the music, the video that you downloaded or stored on that device. Portable devices are more prone to damage or or lost, because ultimately it's mobile, right? So that's what would be the suggestion. So now when you work with the customer, when they bring in the device and they haven't backed it up, you want to show them how to do that, and you can configure the setting for periodic backup, so that way it will make the customer be more efficient with how they would sync their data, and they will be happy. So for our lab, we just need to answer these questions. I did some class activity for fun with the treasure hunt using the iPad. However, for the extra credit this week, you can attempt the team challenge. If you're not able to work with the team, you can try to put in your answer and submit it. And then once you submit it, you will get some extra credit points. Please let me know if you have any questions. This concludes my 1-2 video for CIS-25. And then you can look out for future videos for the upcoming units.